Hey everyone, this is Tex from PokéTex. Worlds 2020 is just around the corner, and with it comes the new standard rotation, meaning that every card from Sun and Moon all the way up to Crimson Invasion will soon be gone. I can't even remember what it was like playing without Guzma, Nest Ball, Ultra Ball, or many other cards. But still, it's a fresh start for everyone, and even the most experienced players will have trouble after rotation. So let's get a head start. Join me in trying out some new cards and seeing what decks could actually work in the following meta. This is Worlds 2020 deck building featuring Garchomp, the Mach Pokemon. During the Sun and Moon era, Garchomp was first seen in Ultra Prism and was best known for being the star in its own theme deck, Mach Strike. If you were a beginner during that time, chances are everyone would tell you, dude, just buy 2 Garchomp decks and you're good to go. And you know what? They were right. But times have changed, better theme decks have arrived, and well, Garchomp was never really that great of a card. But this video, we're going to be talking about a different Garchomp. This one, from our following set, Unified Minds. For those of you that can't read Japanese, here's a quick rundown of the card. For 2 energies, Garchomp does 80 damage, plus an additional 40 if you discard an energy attached to it, hitting for a decent 120 damage. His ability though says that when you're behind in prizes, Garchomp's attacks do 80 more damage to a defending active Pokemon, giving you a total of 200 damage for only 2 energies. Sounds great, right? So let's get started. Since Garchomp is the main attacker of our deck, we want to fit as many copies as possible. And if you're carrying 4 Garchomps, you'll want to carry 4 Gibles as well. We're also going to run 1 Gabite in this list. You usually want to evolve the Garchomp with Rare Candy, but having a stage 1 can make things easier. No Garchomp deck is complete without its best bud, Lucario. If you've got a Garchomp in play, its ability lets you, once per turn, grab any card from your deck. This helps out tremendously to keep a steady pace throughout the game. And that's why we're running 3 Lucarios from Ultra Prism, and also 3 Riolus from Unified Minds. Why this Riolu? I'll touch on it a bit later. Lastly, since we're running fighting energies, we'll go ahead and add a baby Buzzwole to our list. Sledgehammer is a great attack when used at the right moment, and with Lucario letting you search for any card in your deck, you can get plenty of value from this one card fairly often. So this is what our lineup looks like. Our main attacker, our support, and a bit of extra muscle. Let's see what trainers we can add to make this deck run even smoother. With old Garchomp, we relied a lot on Cynthia to be able to dish out strong attacks. Now that we're not so dependent on it, we can make way for newer cards in our deck. Our first new addition will be Professor Elm's Lecture, which allows us to put up to 3 Pokemon with 60 HP or less from our deck into our hand. Remember that Riolu from before? Well, he's got 60 HP, allowing us to search for both Riolu and Gible. Being such a great card, we're going to want to run 4 copies of it. And since we're running 4 Elms, we're also going to run 4 Pokemon Communications. These will make it easier to find your Garchomps and Lucarios, since we can trade away any Pokemon from our hand to find them. Another great addition to this deck is Green's Exploration. It allows us to search our deck for 2 trainer cards, but only if you have no Pokemon with abilities in play. This will help us find our candies and Pokecoms, and overall make our setup even better. For those of you wondering why this deck doesn't run Ditto or DNC, this card is the reason why. And yes, I know that Lucario and Garchomp both have abilities, but the idea of this card is to use it before putting those cards in play. Unfortunately after that, this card is pretty much dead in our hand. Some other supporters I've included are 2 Cynthia, in case your hand size gets too low. 2 Sightseer, as another draw supporter that can also get rid of cards you don't need anymore, like Green or Elm later on. 1 Pokemon Fan Club, in case you don't draw into Elms early on. It's weaker, but it gets the job done. And lastly, 1 copy of Brock's Grit, so we can recycle energies and Pokemon that have gone to the discard pile, just so we don't run out of resources later on. Finally, since we're running so many supporters, we'll be adding 4 Pokegear to our list, allowing us to draw into them more often. And 4 copies of Acro Bike so we can run through our deck even faster. Now that we're down to our last couple of cards, let's add some power to our deck. Since we're running Stage 2 Pokemon, an obvious inclusion would be 4 Rare Candy, allowing us to have our Garchomp set up as early as turn 2. Since all of our attackers use fighting energy, we're adding 2 copies of Martial Arts Dojo. This stadium makes Garchomp's attacks do 130 damage if you're even or ahead in prizes, or a whopping 240 if you're behind. Do keep in mind that this stadium does not boost the attacks of Ultra Beasts. Sorry Buzzwole. We'll also add 2 Black Belts. Black Belt. Whenever you're behind in prizes, this tool lets your Pokemon attack for 1 fighting energy less. Combine this card with Dojo and you're hitting for 240 damage with a single energy. Not bad, I guess. I mean, personally, if you hit for 300, I'd be a bit more impressed. I'm just kidding, it's good. And lastly, we'll run 2 copies of Reset Stamp, just to mess with our opponent's tempo. Making them shuffle their hand into our deck can really set them back. And the longer the game goes, the stronger the card gets, since your opponent draws cards equal to the number of remaining prizes they have. And since Lucario can grab any card you want, you can disrupt your opponent's hand on demand. So, with 52 cards in the deck, we'll go ahead and add 8 fighting energies. Garchomp will be needing too many energies to attack, and even Brock can help us if we start running out. So here's the final list. The Pokemon, the trainers, and the energies. I've been testing and tweaking this deck for quite a while, and the results were actually pretty good, so hopefully you'll give it a shot as well. So that's all for this video. I'm a huge fan of building budget lists, so expect to see more videos like these. If you enjoyed it, leave a thumbs up. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. And if you have any decks that you'd like to see featured in a video like this, leave a comment down below. This is Tex from PokéTex. Goodbye.